Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you
Welcome back to episode 14 of the Football Experience. Today we're joined back with Luke.
I'm good, how are you?
We've had a bit of a problem with the audio, so yeah. This is the England under 21, so let's get back into the pod.
Talks of managerial changes since then, but you know it's not ideal. You know they're out of the. This was World Cup qualification, I think, right?
Euro, wasn't it?
Euro, wasn't it?
Euro.
The Euro? Oh, well,
Yeah.
Euro then.
Yeah, it was
So
Euro.
they're out of the Euros. And, you know, it's not ideal for, you know, the side that we have in the under-21s, you know. They're just looking at it, it's all like Premier League quality players. And
Yeah,
I can't believe we've gone out to some of it and not gone through looking at the teams we're playing against personally.
So Ryan Sessegnon didn't play in the Croatia game either. And
Yeah,
Curtis
he played
Jones got that red card as well.
Yeah, that one was on the 98th minute.
Yeah.
And it was because they were all fighting the ref at the end or something.
Yeah.
I don't quite know exactly what happened, but I think there was a massive bust up and they just decided to, you know, something must have happened on the goal, I'm guessing, or maybe from then on. But yeah, I don't think the sending off was, you know, it shows his passion at least.
Yeah. And also just one of those frustration moments, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
It's weird, isn't it? Because like everyone, including myself, always say, "Oh, the future for England's looking bright," and all these young players are we're sort of hoping that these young players are going to come through and maybe win us a World Cup or a Euros in the future. And to lose to teams like Switzerland under 21s, where our under 21s team could easily be like a Premier League team, is just beyond me, and it really should not be happening.
Yeah, I do feel like this does seem to happen with every generation, though.
I think the difficult thing is like looking at the players, you know, player for player, looking at us, like we have people like Curtis Jones, he's in there. You know, he could have arguably been in the first team, like if things had gone right. You know, so obviously we could, if things didn't go right for some of the other younger players that are in the first team, we could have them in and around it as well. You know, people like Hudson-Odoi, he's been in the first team and now he's in under 21s. I'm sure there's more, but he's just the one that I remember, obviously, as a Chelsea fan. But you know, I think I was looking through the sort of squads that the under 21s have, and I think I would say we'd probably got the second best under 21 squad in the world, behind France, and that's purely because France, like that. I mean, they've got like first team level players already, and you know, their defense is like Koundé, people like, you know, there's a lot of names that everyone knows already in the world.
I do.
One thing is though, like with Portugal, like I don't know this, but like maybe from their team, maybe more of their first team players can play regularly.
Yeah.
Just
maybe.
because of the league, maybe that's one downfall we have, I guess, when we've got Premier League players.
But I would say, like most of them, you know, we have, for example, our goalkeeper is Ramsdale. He plays every week. Our centre back, Godfrey, he plays every week. Obviously, we do have some, you know, in and around Guehi. He's on loan from Chelsea at Swansea, but he is playing every week in the Championship. You know, Max Aarons, he's playing every week in the Championship. It's Eze, you know, he's playing every week. We do have a lot of. I just looking at the players we have, I think it must be an issue with the management side of things rather than the players.
Because they're playing similar to the first team, right?
Yeah, like similar sort of methods.
Yeah, I would have thought they would. Yeah.
But it's just, there must be something missing from outside of just player for player, because I think that, you know, even if they didn't go through and they, you know, lost to maybe Portugal, fair enough, because they're not too bad, but Switzerland, like that's not really good enough for the side we've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you want these players to be coming through and performing for the first team.
Definitely.
Which players in particular do you think are likely to join the first team in like the next few years or so?
I'd say Ozzy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, the only he's like a more winger player, isn't he? And
yeah,
he's got a bigger battle against him than a lot of the other players, I think.
Yeah.
He's quality, don't get me wrong. But
the position's a lot harder for him to get into.
Definitely.
Than other people.
I think one person that will definitely come through fairly soon is Jones.
Yeah.
I can see it. Maybe even by the World Cup next year, I can see him coming in, because we are lacking in sort of central midfield spots, and he could definitely fill one of those spots. He's, currently we've got someone like Calvin Phillips playing there, who I don't mind. I actually personally do quite like him, but I think Jones could probably do a better job than him in there already. And
he's younger. Yeah.
I think Tanganga has a chance if he performs. He didn't do amazingly against Croatia. He could have scored on a header, but I still think he's class. And if Tottenham give him the time, then it's just going to anyone could progress a team like Tottenham.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, because he was coming through a lot and he was playing a lot of minutes at one point, and then suddenly just sort of went out of the picture a bit. Yeah. I don't know whether that was sort of during the time of, the switch between Poch and Mourinho, maybe.
Yeah, because I remember watching the documentary on Amazon, and he came on for his debut and he did amazingly.
And the only issue for England with him is they sort of seem to be playing him all over the place in the back line. Like, he's just sort of the fill-in player. But another player, Godfrey, I can see him coming through as well. Because again, defensively, we're not necessarily the strongest, as shown from the which game was it? The Poland game.
Poland, yeah.
And I really like Godfrey, and although I just said what I said about Tanganga, like Godfrey is really versatile, and I think he could be a big part of England going forward.
I think I don't think he'll be a starter, but I think Ramsdale could maybe be. He could get into the squad at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely be a backup. Give it a year or two. Because he's competing against probably. I mean,
Dean Henderson and Pickford and that are always going to be. I mean, Pickford's not. I'd say Dean Henderson would be first team choice soon.
Is he your favourite out of the three options, Luke?
I'd say so. I'd say he's probably the most reliable out of the three options we've got. Because whenever he has played, he has done pretty well. Yeah, and I like Pickford, but there's something about him.
I think with keepers, like, as much as I like Henderson, I can't personally say I want him in the team until he's playing regular football. And that's why from last year I would have said when he was playing at Sheffield, he's in the team, and probably ahead of the other two. Maybe obviously it's difficult to say now when he hasn't played for so long, but I need to see him play more. And I think if he wants to, progress in his career, either De Gea needs to move on or he needs to move on. Realistically,
I think there'll be a decision made on that soon.
I think there has to be.
So
because they're both too good to one of them to be on the bench and one of them not to be. So
I feel like it makes more sense to get rid of De Gea than.
Oh yeah.
For the future, if you're not looking for instant success, because Henderson's still young and he's going to be.
Yeah.
But it's similar with like Pope. Obviously, everyone before this break was saying, "Oh yeah, Pope's the keeper. He should be the one in goal." But like I was saying before the break, like I like Pickford. I don't know what it is, and don't get me wrong, he's not a full package, and he's, he does scare me when he's in there sometimes. But I think every time Pope got the ball to his feet, he was panicking, and because he's not used to that, Burnley, he's just used to kicking it up to the strikers, which is it's just how it is. And maybe you could train him to be able to do that, But
Yeah, that's the problem when you mix styles. Like 1 week playing one way, and then next week playing a completely different way.
that's why I think we need Pickford, because he's used to a bit more of a passing out the back style.
Mm.
And as much as he may make a mistake, like I personally think for the keep when we're playing against better teams, if we're trying to do that, and Pope's doing it, like I think they'll capitalise on some of those kicks that Pope just puts out. He kicked a load out in the last few games.
Yeah,
which is not ideal. I'm surprised they didn't. Because Pope played every minute of every game during the break. I'm pretty sure, and Henderson or Johnston didn't even get a chance at all. I thought maybe one of them would against San Marino.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised at, because San Marino's, it's not really a competitive game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Southgate's not made this decision yet between Pickford and Pope.
Yeah.
And where Pickford's not there, I think he was like, right, I'm just going to take this time, watch Pickford play as much as I can, and make that decision between the two, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Both of them bring different things, but I personally like Pickford.
Guess it's a good position to be in, where we've got a debate over which keeper's the better keeper. It's not one of those situations where we've just got Rob Green and go.
Yeah, not which one's worse.
But, yeah, so with the San Marino game, I guess it's Will Prowse got his first goal. So did Ollie Watkins. That was it his first, Ollie Watkins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah. What did you guys think of the game? Obviously, the win was expected, but were you happy with how we played?
I think we played well. We just, it is San Marino, so it's you've got to think about that. But we probably could have scored a load more.
The keeper was very good.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
It's crazy though, isn't it? Because I wouldn't say like it was a good game and it was a good team performance, but I'd say it's more joy to see people like Prowse and Watkins getting their first goal for England, and it's just hopefully it's one of many goals for them each, and hopefully it's a way towards the future to hopefully getting more game time within a competitive game.
Yeah. For me personally, watching it, I was really happy seeing, obviously, as I said before, with the Chelsea players in there, all three of them were playing in this one, and all three of them got an assist, which was quite good to see for me. Yeah.
Just a quick one. I know it's not on the list, but what do you guys think about the all the games and the West Ham players getting the man of the matches, 3 man of the matches for the West Ham players?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, Rice when he was playing, I've always liked Rice. I think he's a bit shaky sometimes, but he's I prefer him out of anyone else that we've got there. Even Henderson probably. I think he's better for that role. As sort of the defensive mid, like I think he's perfect for that, and I think he'll be the one that plays for us in the Euros in that role. But yeah, and and Lingard got the first one. I think if it wasn't Lingard because of everything he'd gone through, he may not have got it. Like, if you know what I mean. But obviously, he still played really well. He still got a load of chances, but he probably should have scored about 4 or 5.
And it was nice to see him back in the England squad, though. To be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
After all this time.
Yeah, because it almost looked like after United, it was almost like his career was kind of done.
Well, that's probably what people were thinking when he was going to West Ham. They're probably thinking, send him out on loan for like 1 or 2 seasons, and then they're selling.
But he has proved everyone wrong, to be honest. Since he's been at West Ham, he's played so well, and has he got a year left after this season at United?
I'm not sure, but I know there's talks about him, like United wanting him back after the West Ham spell. But personally, I don't think that's the right move, because realistically, he's still not going to get in the team. I think he's very good, but he's not going to beat Bruno into that cam position. So I'd like to see him just go to West Ham, to be honest, because he's not young anymore, and it's nice to see him actually playing some decent football and doing well with a club that doesn't normally get that high up in the league. So
yeah, West Ham have got some decent players in there now. Like you do worry if a couple of them, leave to bigger clubs. People like Rice, that's still.
I think Rice would go in the summer, to be honest.
Yeah, but then if West Ham do somehow get like Champions or Europa League football,
I think if they get Champions, he might stay.
If they get either, I think he might just stay for a season because of what he's done there. But there's been links about him leaving for a long time. So
yeah. So let's go on to England versus Albania. So that was another win, like clean sheet as well. It was another solid performance, I guess.
Yeah, it was just sort of a standard England win. We struggled to get into the game for a while. Actually, first half we weren't too creative. We didn't sort of get down the wings as much as we did in the first game. Obviously, slightly better opposition, but eventually we got Luke Shaw got his first chance to cross the ball in and straight onto Kane's head. Very good header as well to get it into the far post. We didn't look like scoring, so a goal like that just sort of calmed us down a bit, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's done what a captain should do. He's sort of put the team on the right track of just maintaining focus and just calming down a little bit, because realistically Albania ain't a tough team, and they shouldn't really be making England worry too much, considering we could have been in the final of a World Cup. And we're looking to be in the final of the Euros and win Euros and win the World Cup, so they shouldn't really be worrying too much.
Yeah, we so obviously the Kane goal was the first one, and then the Mount finish in the near the end.
Yeah,
was the second one. He just sort of I think the ball came out to him out wide, and he just sort of curled it around the keeper into the far post.
I mean, Mount's just been playing brilliantly anyway.
He's just so energetic in that, like he helps bring the ball forward loads, and that's what I love about him.
It's crazy because there's so many good people in the England squad within that position at the moment. And for all of them to be playing well, it's got to make it a tough choice on Southgate who he wants to start, because they're all playing so good.
I don't think he's even decided which of them is in the squad yet.
Yeah.
But what I also did hear, where we were talking about the whole, debate whether Maddison would get in, whether, so and so would get in. Apparently, they're looking at potentially increasing the squad size for this tournament.
Really?
I don't know exactly why. I'd assume because of COVID or something.
Maybe increase sub numbers. Sometimes they increase like the amount of subs you can do as well, so it could be linked to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Because they might do a 5 sub.
Yeah.
If they do that, I can see them increasing the numbers, and then you may be looking at people like Maddison definitely getting in. Then you're looking at maybe another defender and probably another striker maybe.
Yeah.
And then because the reason I heard about this is because they were saying about how Danny Ings might have a chance if that happens.
Yeah, I still don't know if he would get in.
He needs to perform more, I think.
Yeah.
Because realistically,
he's been out of injury as well.
Yeah, he's been out for a while now, and
even Watkins isn't currently in the team to stay. There's people to come back. They're ahead of him, and then I'd say he's probably ahead of Ings at the moment.
Definitely, I think so. Yeah.
I can't really think of too many other players, to be honest, but I think if he does improve between now and then, you never know. He's been in the squad and in around the squad before with Southgate, so he knows what he's like. He'll be able to, if they do add the numbers, then I think it'll be even more of an issue for Southgate, to be honest. I think he's probably just about getting settled on his 22, and now if that happens, he'll have to make some more big decisions.
Yeah.
I think it's more about the starting 11 though, because realistically, who are you going to start in that cam position?
Yeah, it depends really, because it depends what we do on the wingers and stuff. Because he seems to like playing someone like Foden, Mount, someone like that on the wing as well.
But even then, we've got so many good wingers now.
We do, but it brings something different to a game, having Foden on the wing, for example. You know, Foden just gets the ball pinged over to him and he touches it down no matter where it is. And I mean, he's in better form than someone like Sancho who's coming back from injury.
Yeah,
like Sancho's not got a definite spot in that team.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sure. That's crazy how someone like Sancho could not even get into the team in the end.
Yeah, and then I think he'll be in the squad, but I don't think he's settled necessarily in the team. People like, you know, even Sterling, he's fighting for his place with people like Rashford.
Yeah.
With the talents around, you know, Grealish is potentially a winger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
it's
a
crazy,
lot of big debates to have.
Obviously, Sancho technically, everyone would think of him as our best right mid player or best right winger. But if someone else is in form in that position, then you're going to play them.
Exactly. Like I think, you know, as much as I do like Sancho, I really do like him. I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's definitely in there or anything.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how good our squad is now. But let's go on to the Poland-England game. I guess it was an England win, but the big thing, I guess, was the goal we conceded.
Yeah, I think the issue is, as much as, like, obviously with that Stones mistake, you know, it's going to happen to people. And like they were saying, you know, if I'd rather it happen now than at the Euros. So, you know, if he can sort of lift his head up from this and come back the same as he was before, then I think he'll be fine. You know, that's what he needs. He needs to just get his confidence up, get his, you know, I know that won't help confidence, but if he can deal with it well, then I think it will. Obviously, another thing from that game, the penalty, which put us 1-0 up in the first place. Sterling went down a little bit soft. Obviously, you know, it got given, and that's what happens when VAR's not there. As much as I don't like VAR a lot of the time, that is the sort of thing you can expect to see if it's not.
But that's the sort of thing that people like Sterling bring to the game. If they can get you, if that was in the final of the World Cup and then that's the goal to get us the win, then he's going to be the most loved man in the country.
Yeah.
But if someone else does it to us, then they're going to be the most hated man.
That's the thing. Like,
it's
that. I think they probably will have VAR in the Euros. I'd
imagine so.
If it's in
like they had a World Cup, didn't they?
If they're going to be in like Wembley and places like that, I feel like they definitely will have VAR.
Yeah. So
because they did in the World Cup, so it wouldn't make sense not to do in the Euros.
Going back to Stones as well. Like, I know he messed up on the goal, but he also got the assist for the winner.
That was a very good header backwards. You know, he just got it back into the danger area.
Yeah.
And then great finish from Maguire. You know.
He hasn't put any accuracy on that until we just.
But it went in. So
he's just wellied it. But it's worked. So who cares?
I think another talking point from that is obviously, for me, the whole time when it was 1-1, you know, yes, we won the game and it's great. But the whole time when we were 1-1, I was sat there like, why have you not made a sub? It was the 70th minute at that point. Yeah. It's like, you know, 20 minutes left. We're 1-1 against Poland without Lewandowski. Like, you need to be winning this game. It's not a debate.
Yeah.
And he wasn't making a sub. He just kept on going. It got to the 85th minute and he's still not made any subs. And I'm just looking like, you know, you've got people like Lingard on the bench who made so much of an impact in the game 2 weeks ago. You know, like, I wanted to see people come on.
Yeah, and if Poland had Lewandowski, then it probably would have been a completely different story.
Yeah, I mean, luckily we got the goal, and then, you know, you could argue that yes, he kept people on, and you know it worked. But I think he was very, very lucky, Southgate, in that game. But I just, if that's the sort of game management he has on a game against Poland, I'm very worried to see what happens when we play against better teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, even if you look back at the World Cup, like, we didn't actually have to play any really good teams.
Yeah, because the Colombia penalties was one of the highlights.
Yeah, Colombia penalties. We finally get a good team in Croatia, who we still should beat. I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
as soon as we came up against a big team, we couldn't win. You know, we didn't do too badly against Belgium, to be fair.
Wasn't it Stones who lost them? Mandzukic?
I don't know, but probably.
But even looking at the group stage in the World Cup when we did face Belgium,
we did okay, but then we had games against the other two were against Tunisia and some other team that we should easily beat.
But with the players in the team, it's not good enough just being okay, because with the players in the team, we should be contending for that World Cup anyway, without facing just easy teams on the way.
Yeah, definitely.
They were easy teams, but we didn't make it look like an easy team.
Like we just need to. That's why I don't think Southgate's good enough to be managing England personally. Looking at that, there's clearly management problems all over England with the under-21s as well.
Is there any other? Sorry, you carry
on. England have always been like that, though, haven't they? Realistically, like we've always had very good players, and it's just never got. I don't know what it is about it. The tempo's never really there. It's always slow passing football. It looks like it's sort of changing now.
Yeah.
More far, but that's just because of the different style of players that we've got now compared to then. But even when we had like Rooney and Stevie G and stuff, and Lampard, it's just realistically that should have been a World Cup contending team, because we had world-class players in the team.
Yeah, when you look back at that team, you've got all over the park. We had really good players, and I think we do again now, pretty much. Yeah. But I do agree that we've had managerial problems for a long time, but surely there's something that we can do to fix that. Like we can bring someone in, because there's managers that are good enough. You
look at the France team, and it's just mental, because they've got so many good players, like England do, but their style of play is just ridiculous. And if we got through to that final of the World Cup, we would have got smashed by France.
Yeah, like it's difficult really, because you don't realistically for the Euros. I mean, by this point, it's too late to sack him anyway. Like, I'm not saying it should be at this point, but I think after the Euros, if we don't at least get to the final, at the very least, I think he's out.
Thing is, because obviously the World Cup's the year after, would you say that's too? He hasn't got long enough.
I think he has long enough.
If a manager came in straight after the Euros, would you say he has long enough to be?
He probably has about, I'd say, because there'll be 3.
Because it's in December. It's in December, isn't it? The World Cup of the following year. It's the Winter World Cup now, isn't it?
So the December of which year?
2022. No, 2023.
Is it 3?
Oh no, Euros is this year. Yeah, 2022. Yeah, so it's next year.
But
yeah, time's going too quick.
It's not like. Yeah, no. So that gives him like a year and a half. I think that is enough time, because it gives him like probably 4 or 5 international breaks of 3 games each to have a look at the players, try and give them, something to work with. And I think if we do it, we need to do it straight away and give them the maximum amount of time.
I think to be honest, they're just going to wait till the end of the World Cup and then reevaluate from there.
Yeah, I don't think we will sack him, but I think we should after that, personally. But we'll see how it goes. You never know. He might do well with it.
It'd be great. I think it'd be great to win the Euros, but I just think France would just do it again. Their team's too strong.
Yeah. So let's go on to Germany versus North Macedonia. So North Macedonia beat Germany 2-1, which it's a very weird result, because it wasn't like Germany played a very bad team.
No, it was a decent team out there. They just couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Obviously in Macedonia, as much as they seem like a really, really bad team to lose against, they are in the Euros. Like, they did qualify. They're not as bad as everyone's saying, but they obviously, Germany should still be beating them. Yeah. And I Macedonia have a couple of players from bigger leagues, like a couple. They have like a couple of Spanish league players. I think they've got a Leeds left back, Alioski.
And Germany have just never been the same team since they won the World Cup, realistically.
No, a lot of their older players that retired just changed everything for them.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Because I remember watching that World Cup when they won, and their team was, no one could even get near them.
Yeah, loads of their players retired internationally after that game. Run. So I feel like that kind of set them back very far. And they've kind of struggled ever since, to be honest.
It's weird, though, isn't it? Because they haven't exactly got... They've still got world-class players in their team. It's a bit like England's situation where they got world-class players, but there's just no end product of all the games they've played and all the wins they've got.
Yeah, it's almost like they can't play as a team.
Where did they get eliminated? Did they get eliminated in the group stage in the last World Cup? Was it them they got eliminated? Did they even get through group stage?
I swear they didn't get through the group stage. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think they did.
So keep talking about stuff and I'll search it up.
Yeah, I don't think they did get through the group stage.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a big... Because I remember talking to someone about when they got eliminated in the last game. Because I think they came third.
So they lost and South Korea.
Yeah.
South Korea.
Jesus. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
They beat Sweden 2-1. Oh, yeah, because they kept themselves... They had a chance in that second game because they were 1-1 until like the 90th minute, and then Cruz scored that free kick.
Yeah,
that really good free kick, and then obviously they got lost to South Korea in the third game. So
and I guess if we're talking about managers as well, Germany have still kept low.
Yeah,
like I know he won them a World Cup, but since then it's kind of been weird how they have still kept them.
Yeah, to be fair, it's probably just the memory they're holding on to them for too long, and maybe need a bit. But then, as we said before, like there's clearly a lack of managers that want to manage internationally.
Yeah,
because they want sort of a job that they can. It's hard to make an impact in an international job. Like you get 3 games with them every 2 months, 3 months, and like you get a few training days in between. You don't really get much time to work with them to even pick your team, and then you're looking at trying to put that team into a situation where they're competing, and you've spent all the time before that trying to decide who's in that team.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that World Cup was obviously 2014. It's been, 7 years, or 6.5, whatever. Since then, it almost seems like just try and change it with. Like, I'm sure there's some up and coming Germany managers they could use. Just try and see if they could try something else out.
Yeah,
because it doesn't seem like it's going to be working. But I guess it's another one where they're probably waiting to wait till the next, till at the end of the World Cup, and then go, all right, let's reset and see what we can do.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to our Arsenal-Liverpool combined best 11. Obviously, this is due to their game coming up this weekend. What do you think of the game? Obviously, we've already spoken about it previously, but just to reiterate our predictions. I can't remember exactly what I said before.
Neither have I, so I'm probably going to contradict
we'll make up a new one.
I do think Liverpool are going to win this. Does anyone not think that?
Aubameyang's new haircut could get Arsenal to win.
It was a good trim, not wrong.
No, I think Liverpool's going to win. I'm going to go Arsenal.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll switch it up. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
I'm going to go over 8-0 win. No, I'm going to go with a 3-2 Liverpool. I think it's going to be close, but I think Liverpool will win it.
Okay.
I probably predicted I better predicted 4-0 Arsenal before or something.
I'll go with 4-3 Arsenal.
Oh.
Yeah. Aubameyang hat-trick.
Yeah, that to be fair.
Okay. Okay, so on to the best 11.
This from this season.
Goalkeepers.
This is just from this season.
And currently available as well. We're not, if someone's injured, we're, trying to keep them out. So anyone that's available to play in this match, as far as we're concerned. Anyway.
Yeah.
So in goal, has anyone gone for anyone different than Alisson?
No.
Yeah.
I did think that would be the case. Obviously, he's up against Leno. Alisson's just a better keeper, I think.
Yeah. Leno is very good, but yeah.
Yeah. Right back?
Arnold.
Yeah. I think we might have similar players in these.
Probably, yeah.
I've tried to change it up a little bit just to bring in a couple of people. But
yeah.
So centre back wise, I've gone for a 4-3-3, by the way.
4-4-2. What are you like?
4-3-3.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So I've got centre backs. I've gone with Fabinho and I've gone with Gabriel, the Arsenal.
Yeah, that was the same as me. I nearly went Kabak instead of Gabriel, but I thought.
I think Gabriel's better than Kabak at this point. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Yeah. This is not looking good.
Yeah. Left back. Have we got any?
Robertson.
It wasn't.
I mean, any other team apart from Liverpool, I think Tierney could battle him. But
yeah,
because it's
just Robertson, isn't it? It's unlucky for him because Tierney's class.
Yeah.
But I was debating it for a while because I think this season it's been close. I would say that definitely. Yeah, I have gone Robertson. So I've gone 3 centre mids, one sort of more attacking. So I've gone with Partey, I've gone with Curtis Jones, and I've gone with Odegaard.
Okay. So I've got 4-4-2. So I'll just read out my centre mids. I just went with Odegaard, Thiago, and then my left and right mid. I thought let's change it up a bit. I put Jota in, and Saka.
Okay. I completely forgot about Saka. I'm not gonna lie.
The only reason why I didn't go for Saka is because he's injured at the minute.
Oh, is he?
From what I saw, yeah.
Oh, fair.
I would explain why he wasn't in either England team too.
My midfield three was Gini, Thiago, and Odegaard.
Okay, so we've got similar but slightly different in and around.
Yeah.
So you've just got your 2 strikers. Who are your 2 strikers?
Well, I've got Aubameyang, and I know he's not technically a striker, but I put Salah just.
Okay. Yeah, I've gone with Aubameyang as my striker, and then Salah and Mane.
Yeah.
That was the exact same as me.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a similar all round really, but it's weird though because we've chosen all these Liverpool players better, but a lot of we haven't outright said that we think Liverpool are going to win, even though we think.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's because the Arsenal players that have been sort of put into the teams are performing very well this season. And plus, I'm not being funny. If Liverpool had the players that weren't injured at the moment, like Van Dijk, Gabriel would have made it nowhere near.
Yeah, true.
The team. Odegaard, I mean, he's only just come to Arsenal, so probably no one from the original Arsenal squad before he came in probably would have gone on midfield. And Aubameyang probably would have been the only one to get in there.
Yeah.
Ahead of Firmino. But Odegaard's quality. Gabriel's alright. And Aubameyang's just Aubameyang.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
So let's move on to let's do player of the week first. So we're just gonna do normally we do like in all the games, but we're just gonna do the England games for this one.
They're the only ones that we watched properly, sort of.
Yeah.
Mostly.
So it's like the fairest way to judge it, I guess.
Who have you gone with, Matt?
I went with Jesse Lingard. Just because it's kind of the comeback kind of story, really. but I feel like there's quite a few. It's not like there's quite a few players who could have got it as well.
Mm.
Who have you two? But
who have you got?
I've gone with Kane. Good header. Good show of him being a captain was quality because he just sort of got everyone back on track in that game. Didn't look like the same sort of team before that goal to after. He's a good captain, quality player, and should leave Spurs as soon as possible.
Yeah. I've gone with. I was thinking for a while between two actually. I do agree with both of those shouts. They weren't actually my two that I was thinking between. But I was looking between purely through because I think both of them performed really well over the 3 games that they played. And that's I was choosing between Sterling and Mount. They both had really, really good games, and they played all 3. Obviously, that's not necessarily Kane's fault or anything, but I think Sterling was putting balls in. He was getting through players in the box. He was really causing problems for them. So I'm going to go with Sterling. My player of the week. He didn't necessarily get the actual contributions, but I think he was really good.
Yeah. Okay. Those were all fair, I think. I think that's the first time we've had all different answers.
Yeah, I think we all had. So the first week we all had Iheanacho.
And then it was Lingard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Like about 3 months ago, Lingard probably wouldn't even thought would get into this conversation.
It'd be a joke. It would be a joke conversation if you said Lingard.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. It's mad how things change. So the last thing we're going to talk about is everything that's been going on with Haaland. He's been meeting quite a few presidents and played lots of things.
He sort of went on a world tour of all the big clubs and spoke to all the presidents of all the clubs. I think his dad's his agent or something.
Yeah.
So, no. Sorry, Raiola's his agent, isn't it?
Yeah. But his dad was with him. Yeah.
Yeah. So he went round. The only good thing about it is Raiola has really, he has grudges on a lot of clubs. He hates Guardiola with a passion, which may make that deal really difficult to happen.
Doesn't he seem to have beef with all the top clubs?
A lot of clubs he does, yeah, because he's probably had issues with his big players. He's going to have issues with every club at some point.
He's probably going to have an issue with United as well because of the whole Pogba situation.
Yeah. He's got issues with teams like Barcelona and stuff. I think Barcelona is actually one of the better ones. In terms of his relationship.
He's probably one of the better ones in relationship, but the question is, can they afford him? That's
I feel like Barcelona, because I think Messi's going.
Yeah,
if Messi goes, he definitely can. But then why would he want to go to Barcelona?
That was my question. Surely, if he would want to go to Barcelona, he would have something in his contract about them, like signing certain players and that. But would they be able to afford that if Haaland came?
They'd have to look at people like Dembele maybe moving on. I think if they want instant success, which is what they will need if they want to sign Haaland, they will need to promise him something. Because
I know
otherwise,
Dembele's been linked with United. So I know there's a few players from Barca that have been linked with other teams.
It's just like you don't see, if Messi goes, I don't see them recovering, even with Haaland, for a good 5 years.
Yeah.
To an actual, Champions League.
Competitive team, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, to be honest, to see where he goes, because it's not a clear answer right now.
Yeah, because I think they went round all the sort of European Spanish teams and stuff yesterday. I think he came to England today, I believe.
Yeah.
And went round to, Manchester clubs, Chelsea, even probably Liverpool, maybe Leeds. You never know.
Yeah. Would you want him at Chelsea just because of the wage? Would you think it would be worth it?
To be quite honest,
I know some other players for a better price.
Potentially, but I think that I think wages are kind of it doesn't really matter too much to the club at this stage. We've got a lot of money in and around the club. Obviously you need to keep with the rules and stuff, but I think we've showed that we're not scared to just put money out there from last transfer window. not everyone's worked out. Don't get me wrong, but people are starting to look up. People like Havertz just before international, he was playing class, and it's taken a while, but I think most people knew that it was always going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
And I could never say that I wouldn't want Haaland to come to Chelsea. I don't think he will necessarily, although I don't think it's completely out of the question. Just because I think for maybe like a 2-year spell, like maximum, I don't think it will last longer than that.
Because he comes across as a player who just wants to try and be at a club for a few years, then go off to another club and another. It's just
he's going to be like a
Zlatan
sort of player.
Yeah, he comes across like that in interviews anyway.
That's why I'm not completely sort of out questioning it for Chelsea, because I don't, we have the money to do it right now, and we have the players to sort of back up why he might want to move. He's got German players around him. I know he's not German, but German league. It's not completely out, but we're already looking at sort of other options for that, and we've contacted clubs about even Lukaku coming back.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
Do you think Lukaku would be a good signing for you? Because he seems to be playing all right in the Italian league from what I've seen.
The thing is with us, like we've always lacked like a 10 goal, even a 10 goal a season striker. Like we've only had that 2 seasons since Drogba left, and that was Costa in both seasons.
Yeah.
And since then, we've sort of relied on other people for goals, which is fine. We had those players in other positions, but I think Lukaku, every season he's been in the Premier League, he's averaged like 15 goals or something.
Yeah.
He's always scored over 10 for United and for Everton, which means for me, I don't think it would be a bad signing at all.
No, I mean when he was at United, I think he got hated on a bit too much. Part in that massive PSG comeback game, he still scored a load of goals. I remember watching Saints versus United, and he basically kept them in the game.
It's just a physical presence.
Yeah, literally.
It fits the Premier League style.
He's quick as hell. He's got pace. He's got pace on him. He's a quality player, and I don't know why Inter seem like they're in a rush to get rid of him. To be honest, because
it's weird. Maybe they're having COVID troubles with money.
That's true.
Because he looks like a completely different player over there. He looks like a completely different player over there.
Yeah, and then obviously with Kane leaving as well. I'm not saying he's going to come to Chelsea. Just to clarify, I think we have tried to do it. But Tottenham to Chelsea is too difficult.
I
know this.
Interesting.
Sorry, I know this was how hard is it? But where do you think Kane will go to a Premier League team, or do you think he'll go?
I think he will go abroad personally.
I'd like to see him go. I like seeing him in the league. Don't get me wrong, but I would like to see him try and just go to any club that might give him more, because he deserves more than he's got at Tottenham.
And because if he retires and he stays at Tottenham his whole career and he doesn't really win a Premier League, it's going to be such a shame, because
it's not even like he's got like a massive wage that he sort of like he has got a big wage. Don't get me wrong, but he also, like, if he was at Man City, he'd be on probably 100 grand more. It's not like he's got that to hold on to, and he's just like money grabbing. Say much more about Haaland, or should we just try and wrap up?
I haven't got any. If you got anything else to say, then feel free, either of you.
No. I'd love to see Haaland go somewhere else. I'd love to just see him going down to a Saints game and just seeing Haaland play in real life, just seeing him there.
Yeah, join Saints.
Even though he's going to absolutely batter Saints, I'd love to just see him live. It's like Messi. If he goes to City, I'd love to see him live. He's going to batter Saints again, but just these sort of players, especially Messi, like, before he retires, I'd love to see him just once.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I've had that, but just trying to go to a Barcelona game is difficult in itself, let alone the whole
Because me and my dad were going to go to a Barca Real match when Ronaldo was playing there and Messi was there. But it's so much to go over there, and obviously you have to stay the night, and it's not like sort of a day thing where you can go up there for the day, because most of them are late night games as well. I think the ones that we were going to go to anyway. So it's, but no, I'd like to see Haaland go to somewhere like Chelsea or something like that, because I can't see him going any. Barcelona, I don't think can afford him unless they get rid of Messi. Even if they get rid of Messi, why is he going to go there? Real, don't think it would work. PSG would love to see it, but that PSG team would be ridiculous as well. Yeah, they'd have to sell someone. I mean, their front three, if they got Haaland, would be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it would. It would be very good. I'd like to see that, but I just, there's even been links of Mbappe leaving there, hasn't there?
Yeah, so, and Neymar's, I can't see him staying there for too much longer. It's more about the transfer fees for both of them, Mbappe and Neymar, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you for coming to the podcast, Luke.
No worries. It was a good time.
Yeah, we might have taken a few chances on the intro. It might have taken a few times. Yeah. Thank you for listening, if anyone is. And we'll see you next week.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us.